These are all the medications that I've been on since I was diagnosed with gastritis. For reference, I'm currently not taking any medication. I take sucralfate if I'm having a really bad flare-up, but lately that's just been happening once or twice a month. Otherwise, I am completely medication-free. I just take natural supplements. At the beginning, when I first went to the doctor, the first thing they put me on was a PPI. Obviously, looking back now, I know how common and how over-prescribed PPIs are, but at the time I was like, sure, yeah, if this will fix me, I'll take it. So I took a PPI for 2 weeks because that's all she told me to take it for, and obviously it didn't heal me. So I was like, hey, what's up? Why am I still having symptoms? And then she put me on another PPI for 4 weeks, as if that was going to be any different. And then she put me on metoclopramide, which was it's basically a motility booster to get things moving through your stomach. And I found that to be very helpful for my symptoms, more so than the PPI. However, the long-term side effects of that one are worrisome to me, so I didn't want to be on it. And also it was just covering up the symptoms and not addressing the root cause. After that period of 6 weeks where I took the PPI at the beginning, I decided I wanted to do this without taking medication. So that's when I got really serious about my healing, and I did a 90-day elimination diet where I was symptom-free for most of those 90 days just through diet and supplements alone. I wasn't taking any medication during that time. But then when I slowly started reintroducing foods back into my diet, that's when symptoms started coming up again. Very mild symptoms, but I still had flare-ups once a week. So I went back to a doctor, and guess what? She put me on another PPI. For some reason, I thought this doctor was different, so I trusted her. She said I just needed to be on the PPI longer, so I went on the PPI again for 5 weeks. And by the way, I was taking all different types of PPIs every time I was prescribed one, so the list is endless, but I've tried all of the different kinds and none of them solved the problem. So I went on another PPI for 6 weeks. Again, I got off of it, had severe acid rebound. She gaslighted me about that. I was like, okay, clearly the PPI is not working. So around summer of last year is when I officially was like, I'm done with PPIs. I'm not doing this anymore. I just used them to get through my wedding engagement party celebration last summer, but after that I decided I wanted to taper off, and I did that over the course of 6 weeks using Pepcid. Pepcid was a medication that I used last year kind of to taper off the PPIs, and I also used it as a replacement for the PPIs for a couple of months, and then eventually I completely stopped using the Pepcid. The last medication I want to mention I started taking in November of last year when I saw my GI